Getting down to business. Does that mean getting down to business just for our very small businesses? No, not in today's show. Today's show, we are going to meet with Dolores Stafford of Stafford Associates. Stafford Associates has 30 employees, and she has fully utilized those resources that are provided by and through the town of Brookhaven, along with those organizations that we have very strong working relationships with. Dolores, welcome to today's show.
Thank you. A pleasure to be here.
Now, you're running a data center.
Yes, we are.
Can you explain to us what a data center is?
A data center is a place where we have our clients store their data in a secure, redundant environment with the proper cooling for the servers, and we offer rack space, either a single slot or an entire rack.
Yep.
And we have security 24/7.
So the data that we're storing, it's all electronic data.
Yes.
It's completely backed up.
Definitely.
Right. So they would have their own data that would be saved on their own site.
Yes.
And then you're doing this center in order to keep a backup on the whole thing. In other words, to keep, no matter what happens to the business, everything is going to be held at your location also.
Right. So we have two sides to our data center, a co-location side and a managed services side.
Go ahead. A co-location side is?
Co-location side is where the client brings their own servers into our space. They rent the space, and they control what's going on with their data in that environment. So we just provide cooling,
Okay.
and we provide the security that's necessary.
So,
On the other side, the managed services side, we own the equipment, and we're responsible for everything that goes on with that data. And again, it's monitored 24/7. Our guys are trained fully. If there's a problem, they're there to maintain it and to be sure that everything is running smoothly.
right. So from a problem, we're talking about a problem with the data, a problem with the transmission of the data.
Right.
They
Monitor the flow of power going into the systems, that the generator is operating properly, so they never have downtime.
Right. So how do you not have downtime? You've got redundant systems.
Redundant systems throughout the data center. Battery backup rooms, we have 2 of those. We have power coming from Bennett's Road. We have it coming from 25A. So everything is double.
Right. So you're located in Setauket. That's where those 2 roads are.
Yes.
So you have two different power sources, one completely independent of the other.
That's correct.
The cooling system is completely independent, or 2 cooling systems completely independent of each other.
Right. They run simultaneously, but one powers down for a while, the other one goes up. So there's always cooling and properly cooled.
So let alone my business being backed up by you, you also have your own business backed up by your own business.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Sounds like so you're a mirror image of yourself.
That's correct. And we also have a site in Jersey. So if anything should happen, which it shouldn't, in Brookhaven, we have the site backed up in New Jersey.
So now we're up to a 3-way mirror here.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
The two different backups within the location here in
That's
Setauket,
correct.
and then the one backup over in New Jersey.
That's correct.
So how much data can you actually hold over here?
Oh, it's an unbelievable amount. You just couldn't imagine. It could be a whole library of data and more.
And more, you know,
Yes.
beyond that. And
Yes.
the clients that you're working with, anything from the smaller client on up to?
That's correct. Yes, we have very large clients, and we have the government sector. We have schools that we back up, and we have small businesses as well.
It sounds like you're going well beyond just holding a library's worth of information here.
Exactly.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds like more like it's a country's worth of information.
Exactly. And we have clients from Russia and Ireland and Canada and Mexico.
Really?
Yes, because we can operate from anywhere in the world.
And that's the beauty of the electronic world.
Exactly.
Anybody, any place, any time.
That's right.
Doesn't make a difference.
That's
so
right.
you must be staffed full-time?
We're staffed 24/7, yes.
Right. So those 30 employees, they're absolutely integral.
Yes, yes. And they can work from home if they can't get to the site. We have remote backups and remote servers that we can just do what we would in the building, but do it from home. Mm-hmm. So they're always on.
Always on. Sounds like everybody's close to the business also.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're always on call.
Now, this is also a family business.
Yes.
Where did the Stafford Associates start from?
It started in a home in Selden. We started in one office in the house. It went to the 2 offices in the house. We finished our basement. And then it became too big for the house. We had shipping and receiving in the hallway, and we had repair in the dining room. And
it's a short commute.
yes, it was definitely a short commute. But we found it too small, and the company thankfully grew. And then we moved to Hub Road, where we had 3 small buildings, and we operated our data center from there, as well as our sales and service, and our cabling services that we do, and our web hosting. And then we
outgrew. How long did it take you after all that place?
We were there about 10 years.
Okay.
And that became too small. And so then we started to look into building our own building.
Right. And now you're in the current location.
We're in the current location for about a year now.
Right.
Yes.
And that is over in Setauket.
Right.
Yeah.
On Bennett's Road.
Now, that itself is an interesting story, because I love the fact that you've been throughout all of Brookhaven.
Right.
Yes.
We stayed here.
Right. And next time I need to know about some township, I'm calling you.
Okay. Sounds good.
But so now you've moved over into a building, right? We're
Yes.
not in the house anymore,
Not
right?
in the house. We felt we needed to have the facilities
Right.
to keep us growing.
So you have a real commute. It's
Yes.
not just walking down the hallway
No,
anymore.
not at all.
So now the building is over in Setauket.
Right.
And you've gone through a great lengths to make sure that that building is a part of the community.
Right. It had to fit in with the community. They didn't want a building that was all glass that would be an eyesore and stand out with the surrounding area. So the building is really built like a mansion. And from a distance, you would think it's a house on the hill. And it has stored all of our equipment,
Right.
and it's doing well.
Yeah. I know, working through all that, I've seen the building, and it's really amazing how much it has fit in, and then the whole size of the building is
Right.
absolutely incredible also. Plus some of the other challenges with the landscaping, and you also have the other building that's there too.
Right, we have a historic building on the site, which we had to restore, which is nearly completed now, but we couldn't get our permit for the larger building without restoring the older one.
So that whole property was one big piece
Yes.
that all had to work together.
It had to work together,
Right.
exactly.
And working together. That is where a lot of the folks that came in to play with you were a tremendous asset. And we're going to meet with those people in a few minutes. And they are Gloria Glowacki from the Small Business Development Center and Lisa Mulligan from the Industrial Development Agency. They helped you through that process of becoming a landscaper
Right.
and an historian,
Right.
not just holding the data center.
That's right.
Welcome back to Getting Down to Business. We were talking earlier with Dolores Stafford of Stafford Associates, who has a 30-employee company, and how she is interacting with the town and those agencies that we have a working relationship with. We are joined today by Lisa Mulligan. Lisa Mulligan is the Director of Economic Development and the CEO of the Industrial Development Agency.
Hi, Bri.
Hello. And also with Gloria Glowacki. Gloria Glowacki is the Associate Director of the Small Business Development Center at Stony Brook.
Thank you.
Welcome. Dolores, how did your relationship begin with working with the town?
Well, we needed funding for our new business, for our new building, and we didn't know where to start. So by accident, really, we found on the internet an advertisement for a networking event at the town of Brookhaven. It was literally 2 hours before the show, or before the event, and we decided to go over there. Walking around, just going from one table to another, we found Gloria. And
She's tough to miss.
yes, she was terrific. She helped us from the very beginning, telling us how to go about getting funding, introducing us to the proper people. And we've been working with her for at least 6 years.
Yes.
And she's helped us every step of the way.
And this was a big transition, because this is the transition going from one home to the second home.
Right.
Now actually to the office building that looks like a home.
That's correct.
And then dealing with the rest of the regulations and everything. Is that where your area of expertise comes in?
What happens is we do what the client needs. So in Dolores' case, it's Dolores and Jean, when we started working with them, it was a matter of what their needs were. And their needs were to get through the process, the permitting process, to get funding, to get a business plan put together, and work with a variety of sources to do the funding, because it was a big project.
It was.
And We worked all the way through it. Dolores and I, have each other on speed dial now. But we've had a wonderful time of it. I was at the steel raising and got to put my name on that beam.
So I heard.
Yeah. But we worked with them all the way through. So with each of our clients, whatever their needs are where we come in. And it could be helping them to find an accountant or an attorney. We don't necessarily recommend, but we'll tell them what to look for when they're looking for the professionals. In Dolores's case, it was funding. Sometimes it's expansion. They need to expand. They know they need to expand, but they don't necessarily know how to do it. And sometimes it's just philosophical. It's a mom and pop, and now they need to grow, and that's a big transition.
Right.
So we kind of take our lead from the client, and obviously, as you know, we do not charge for our services, and the clients could be our client for as long as they want to. So we're the best deal in town.
That's very true.
I've heard Lisa's office is also not charging altogether too much. So you went to the event. It was over at Town Hall. So I
Yes.
guess we have to give you credit for your involvement on that side of it.
Our
Yes.
office was set it up.
Right, and that would be the Economic Development
Economic
Office?
Development, yes.
Right. You met Gloria, and then the Industrial Development Agency, is that?
Right.
Got involved?
The IDA got involved in their project, in that we provide a series of benefits that are there to assist companies like Dolores's so that they expand and grow in the town of Brookhaven. And so that's where we came in, and that's what we provided.
Right.
Reduction of taxes.
Series of benefits. It's a property tax abatement, it's a sales tax abatement, and it's a mortgage recording tax exemption.
Okay, so who brought up, as you were explaining before, we've gone from a home business, two home businesses or home-based
right.
businesses, now into this building.
Yes.
Whose idea was it with the building? Probably not yours, to have the
Not mine.
building look like
That was part of the town requirements.
the town requirements.
Right.
Right.
They wanted to fit into the environment. And we had to adjust the lighting to maintain the dark sky. We had 20% of the area to be left open so that the ecology could continue as it was,
Right.
undisturbed. There were so many, color of the building, we had to make sure that it fit in with the environment. And that's what we tried to accomplish, and I think we did.
Right, and by working through, it's a joint, it must have been a joint
It was,
relationship
it
with
was.
everybody.
Yeah,
Whenever there-
sure.
Yes.
Mark Lesko, just maybe, a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, came, and he came up with other ideas that we hadn't even thought of to help this business. And it's a great business, it's a solid business, and obviously all of us, our goal is to keep it in Brookhaven, and he came up with new initiatives that we hadn't even thought of. So all of us had our part in it. Each of us, Lisa and I would be on the phone asking questions of each other. What do you think? Who should we call in? Dolores and I, as I said, constantly. It was actually, at one point, the bankers would say, I know, I just have to call Gloria, don't. But I was very protective. I was very, very protective of them because they happen to be like some of the nicest people you could ever hope to meet.
That has to be
Okay.
an invaluable resource to you.
It was definitely.
Right.
We couldn't have done it without them.
Because it's a
Yeah.
big enough move just to move.
Right.
And then to deal with all the other regulations.
And we had no idea what we were going to have to do. And Gloria got us started and took us all the way
I
through.
don't think I ever would have written a business plan where I'm going to build an office building and have that office building not look like an office building.
Right.
So
Right.
no, that you can't plan on some of these things that come up.
No, there were so many
Not
things
only-
that came up that we
not
didn't
only
expect.
Not looking like an office building, but may we take a moment to talk about leads?
Oh, right. We have a Leeds building,
Okay.
and that entailed an awful lot. For instance, the structural SIPS insulated panels, the SIPS panels, giving us an R55.
I'm going to shake my head yes, but I have no
Oh,
idea
you
what
do.
that is. Okay?
Explain what Leeds is.
It's a standard that you have to meet. You gain points for meeting some of the codes that they set aside. For instance, the dark sky, the insulation in the building, the lighting, interior, exterior. The landscaping had to be done in such a way that we didn't use any plants that were not native to the area, which made it difficult. We had to eliminate many plants. All of that